The New York Knicks lose to the Milwaukee Bucks in the NBA in-season quarterfinal matchup, 146-122. We're here to talk to my guy, Brian Fonseca, about this game. Brian, how you doing, man?
Not very pleased watching what I watched, especially as a Jalen Brunson over better in this one. That was tough.
Very tough. It was a tough night for the Knicks just to get offensively, besides Julius Randle. Obviously, 41 points for him tonight. But the rest of this Knicks team couldn't hit threes, couldn't shoot the ball well. And it was the Julius Randle show for most of this game. The first half, the Knicks kept it close, Brian. But then the third quarter, you saw the Bucks pull away, outscoring the Knicks by 13 points, what turned out to be a rout of a game. So, what is your immediate takeaways from watching this one?
People are going to look at Julius Randle's box score and think that he had an amazing game. What he had was an amazing first half. I think he single-handedly took the Knicks out of the game in the third quarter.
Mm.
Now, granted, the team couldn't hit a shot, but they were in this game after the first half. And what Julius Randle was doing was bringing up the ball, not even looking to pass, pounding it inside, trying to post up Giannis Antetokounmpo of all people, and occasionally Bobby Portis, and settle for a fadeaway jump shot from obviously 2-point range. And this would try to combat the Bucks, who were scorching hot from three, who at one point had 17 made threes to the Knicks' three. And it's like, if you're going to post up Julius Randle and look for shooters, because again, I think Julius Randle is at his best when he's acting as an inside out facilitator who can pass the shooters from the inside, who is being a playmaker, who has his head up and is looking, not has his head down and is just trying to bully ball his way to buckets, especially when your team needs to keep up from 3-point range. And your team
Yes.
could shoot. They didn't shoot well tonight, but they were taken out of their rhythm completely. And I think Julius Randle's box score is going to overshadow that because it was a horrendous third quarter that completely just took their offense out of it. And I think it was ball game from there.
Yeah, it was a close game going into halftime, like we said. It was a high scoring first half, but then like you said, Julius Randle, it was a very it's another Julius Randle experience tonight, right? You have a guy who's hot from the field. He's hitting almost every shot in the first half. And then you get into that third quarter, and it's so frustrating to watch as a Knicks fan. You're seeing them continuously have Julius Randle ISO ball against Giannis, or like you said, Bobby Portis, and the other guys aren't getting in rhythm. I mean, this is a rare occasion, the first night tonight in the entire season where Jalen Brunson doesn't hit a three. He's 0 for 5. The Knicks only hit 7 threes tonight out of 23 shots. And meanwhile, you had the Bucks. They hit 23 threes tonight, Brian. I mean, it's that was the difference in the game, it felt like, right?
You're not going to keep up by just shooting contested 2-pointers. And it sucks because like especially in today's NBA, because the volume of 3-point shots, it's kind of like if you make the most threes, you're going to win. It's just math, right? And the Bucks were the hot team tonight, but at the same time, you got to generate those looks better than you were trying to. And that's the thing about the Julius Randle performance that was so maddening. The first half was beautiful. Jalen Brunson would dribble, penetrate because he can own this Milwaukee Bucks defense because they cannot guard him in the perimeter, on the perimeter rather. And he could just get to his spots that he wants to set up that floater, to set up that mid-range pull-up, to set up these little trick jump shots. And obviously, occasionally you can spray it out from three, which he did not do tonight effectively, but he could on most nights. And what he was doing was dribble penetrating. Julius Randle would kind of trail him. He would almost hand it off to him, and Julius Randle will go in and finish. You know what I mean? Julius Randle was getting shots around the rim. He made like his first 9 shot attempts in the
Yep.
game. And Jalen Brunson and him, they have this thing going. And then in the third quarter, that's just not what we're seeing at this point. So I think, and it's not all Julius Randle's fault, by the way, not to dump on him any further, but team low plus minus 21. Not perfect, but kind of goes with what I'm saying. So I figured I'd bring that up. But I think that you have to try, if you're getting bombarded from three like that, you have to try to generate looks from three. And this is a team in the Knicks that they could shoot. Like we've seen them shoot at different points this year. They're not an awful 3-point shooting team at times. Like I wouldn't call them, elite consistently, but they have guys that could knock down threes. Emmanuel Quickly is somebody who you can utilize more in these areas. RJ Barrett, the shot was coming and going, but honestly, this is probably the best he's looked since he started dealing with migraines. So I guess you'll take it, right? Just it's a loss to the Bucks in Milwaukee. So, zooming out, it's one game. But at the same time, they were right there in it.
Yeah.
And there was just a couple little things where it was like, you guys really could have stolen this one if you played a different game, particularly in that third quarter.
Yeah, it feels like those adjustments right there from Thibodeau isn't really it's not coming to fruition for the Knicks team right now. And to your point, a guy like Quickly, only 1 from 4 downtown. He didn't provide much from you off the bench. If you don't get that secondary scoring from him, it feels like it's going to be a long night like it was tonight. And I think one thing that you talked about with the box score and something of note also, while the Bucks were draining these threes all night, the Knicks were going to the free throw line. So you're talking about difference of shooting 2 free throws or hitting your threes. Again, that's not going to get the job done. Julius Randle shooting, I believe, 12 free throws tonight. Yeah, he made 11 of 12 from the free throw line. RJ Barrett was 8 of 8. You're shooting free throws instead of shooting threes. That's the big difference to your point right there.
And I still think at some point we're gonna see what they do with the Quentin Grimes spot. Is it gonna be Emmanuel Quickly? Is it gonna be Josh Hart? I think it has to be one of those two guys. And I'm somebody who I thought Quentin Grimes was in for a pretty big year. Not that he was gonna average 18, 20 points or anything
Right.
like that. But I thought he was somebody who was going to step up, be kind of like a 3-and-D-ish guard that can play off of Jalen Brunson, who can fit into this offense seamlessly, and he's just not hitting the shots. So I do think, look, lean into Emmanuel Quickly, lean into Josh Hart. These are guys that can start and or finish games for you. Obviously, only one of them is going to be able to start and finish if you already have the other spots occupied with Mitchell Robinson, Julius Randle, Jalen Brunson, and RJ Barrett. But I think you need to get more from that spot. And ultimately, you just need to hit shots. And today they did not hit shots. But there will be games where they'll hit shots. And I don't think it's all doom and gloom, but I do think, like, listen, like Julius Randle cannot have those quarters in the third quarter. And then you look up and it's like, oh, and more today because he had 45, 5 and 6 or whatever it is. But there are so many times where we look up and it's like he has 27, 12, and 8, but it's in a choppy way. It's not in the flow of the offense. They look better when they're playing through Brunson and not through like this is the sort of issue that a lot of Knick fans, a lot of you guys have with him, where it's like you want to improve that spot or you want to just alter the way he plays because it's maddening to
Yeah.
watch. And sometimes it really works out, and that's, as you said, the Julius Randle experience continued.
Unfortunately, the Knicks are eliminated from the in-season tournament. The Bucks move on. They'll play the Pacers. The Knicks next up, I'll have the Celtics on Friday. But Brian, appreciate you as always for giving us some time and helping us break down this game, man.
Anytime. Appreciate it.